Thanks for tuning in. I'm in the mood to edit another photo, so I figured I'd do a video. Let's edit one of these photos together. This is going to be a great one for me to edit. There's a little bit more to do here, and also I can show you how I use Topaz to bring back faces out of focus, like my boys. So let's go ahead and edit this one together. The first thing I notice is it is pretty dark, but let me check my iPad settings. And right now I'm going to edit on my iPad Pro, and I am using Lightroom CC, the mobile app, and I have the paid subscription. So once I've taken the photos from my camera, I've uploaded them into my Lightroom account, which I have a short on how to do that. It's really simple. You then choose your photo, and we're coming in here to edit. So first thing I'm going to check is what were my settings. So again, in the lower right hand corner, I'm going to choose the eye. And I see here, I use my Tamron 24 to 70 millimeter f2.8 lens. And I was at 40 millimeters when I took this photo. My shutter speed was 125th of a second. My aperture was 2.8 and my ISO was 400. Seeing this, it must have been twilight out, and I look at the time and it was at 6:42 p.m. because this is a pretty low shutter speed. My aperture was open as far as I could go. Now I definitely could have bumped up my ISO here to help, but I've already blown out the background because it was so white that day that I guess maybe I compensated. I'm not quite sure. But the first thing I want to do in general is I want to lighten it up. Most likely it's going to continue to make this even more harsh, more bright, more blown out. So we'll see what it looks like when we go into edit. So I'm going to choose light. And first I do want to play with the highlights to see what it's going to do in this upper left-hand area. So I'm just going to bring them down. All right. So first things first, it brings back this piece right here. It brings back the top of the wheel, and kind of looks like a side mirror or something right here. And then the biggest thing is it brings back the dash, which is awesome. Look at this. That looks so much better. We have some leaves down here that are coming in. So highlights going all the way down is definitely the route I'm going to take. The next thing I'm going to do is play around with the shadows and see if instead of touching the car, maybe I can just brighten up my dogs a bit without getting this highlighted area even brighter. So if I bring up the shadows, not bad. The next thing I'll do, because it's pretty sunny, I'm going to go to effects and choose dehaze to see if I can get some of that haziness out of the photo, which that looks really nice. This is 0-ish. And bringing it down really brings in my girl and even Voodoo. Now I have to bring his face in focus. So we're going to see how that turns out in Topaz. I haven't used Topaz yet to focus an animal's face. I've only used it for humans. So it'll be interesting to see how it does with fur. But you can see his bandana, his tag, and his toes are all in focus. But his face is too forward in the plane because you can see Piper's back a little bit. Her nose kind of lines up right here. So his face is out of plane because it's more forward. She's sitting a little bit back. So I like the dehaze pretty strong. I'm going to go with 30. Now, the numbers don't mean anything. It's not like you can't go, you shouldn't go to a high number, you shouldn't go to a low number. It really just is how it looks with your picture. So I'm already liking the changes so far. It really just gave it some life back, bringing this area and popping my dogs out a bit more. And then being able to bring Voodoo in focus is going to look pretty cool. Check the framing. These are kind of at a slant, so I want to see what it'll look like. So I'm going to go to the square here, and you see this half circle down here. This is what I want to choose. Oh, you can't see that? There you go. So I'm going to try getting these lines more straight to see what I think about that. I don't like that because I don't like how it cuts off more of my girl. So I'm going to go back. I'm actually going to see about lining it up with Voodoo in the chair post. So just a little. Yeah. So this is straight. The cars going a little down. All right. See the dirt on her tongue, her tag, waterfall, and then my boys. I don't see anything I really want to remove. I mean, I could remove this. It's a little distracting. Let's see what it looks like. Because again, why not? If it can just look like the rest of the floor here, or this crate or thing, that would be nice. Oh yeah. All right, let's check it out. That's option 1. Option 2. Oh, snap. That looks good. Option 3. Option 2. Look at that. Look at that. Done. Oh, that just helps it look much cleaner. I wonder, can we do the electrical tape? Can we do this? Reminds me of a song. Can we do this? Let's see what that's going to look like. I find this to be cheating, but I'm okay with it. It's the art. Oh my gosh. Blows my mind. AI, artificial intelligence, generative AI. So my friend told me that I should explain this in case someone doesn't understand what it is. So generative AI is exactly what I just did. I chose the remove and I wanted AI to take a look at what I was highlighting and try to recognize what should be there instead or kind of like behind it. So it reads the picture and it gives you different options of how to fill in that space you want to remove. So it's exactly what we just did here and here. That's generative AI. And this does do it without generative AI. It's just not as good. There's a big difference. And so that looks so good. And look how much that elevated the photo. It took it from being a little, I don't know, backyard abandoned 100-year-old farm to like commercial farm, old school in a good way. I don't know. I am loving it. I feel like there's a bit of a teal glow coming through, and I don't know if I like it or not. I'm seeing it in here and in here. Now, I do think that this is teal, but it actually is more green if we look here. So I'm wondering if it's not his bandana kind of giving off some glare. So I'm going to go into color mix, and I'm going to choose the teal. I'm going to bring it down. Where is it touching? You can see it. So it's here, but nothing here. Oh yeah, you can see it's a little here. But I want to leave that one alone. Let's check the blue. So the blue is what is over in here. So what I can do is do a brush, go a little bit bigger. I'm just going to brush this area because I don't want to touch any other area, but I'm just seeing a blue hue and it's bothering me. Now you may not see what I'm seeing or it may not bother you, but that's okay because this is my photo. You go ahead and edit yours how you think best. See that difference? See the glow? I'm just more of a warm glow. So I'm going to go 20. Yeah, I like that. I want to see, actually, let's go back to that. I want to see it without doing the bar. So keep the bar its color, but make his paws more warm. I want to make sure I keep his paw in there. That's really what was getting me. All right, look at that. See here? Bam. See here? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Just really brightens it up. I'm so excited to do Voodoo and Topaz. We're going to see how that goes, but I'm going to do detail, noise reduction. I don't go as high with my dogs because they're furry. They shouldn't look smooth. You know what I mean? I just want to do it for like a little bit more of a glossy feel. Bump the clarity up a little bit. Piper might even be able to come and focus just a bit more. I wonder where my focus was. I mean, this looks really clear. So does his paw here. Let's try the light. Let's just try to brighten it up a little bit. I'm going to bring some color back overall. I feel like it got a little dull there. Contrast. Contrast is, you know, all of the different colors contrasting against each other. So do you want a real significant contrast in colors, or do you want them more muted and slowly starting to look alike? All right, so exposure will bring back down just a little bit. Find that sweet spot. I think that's good. I'm going to do Piper, selective tool +, radial gradient, do like a oval around her face, and just kind of give her a little pop so she doesn't seem like in the background, because she's not. She's a front and center kind of gal, and I like that. It's 16, but see the difference? It just kind of gives her a little pop that helps bring your eye to her. And actually, what I want to do is another one. Don't be shy. Don't be shy with these gradients. I want to get this side that is in shadow and kind of give it a fighting chance. And that eye isn't as colorful. So let's see about the saturation. No, be careful there. All right, let's see. Bam. Got to be careful because it's there. I think that's good. Her face looks even. But now what I want to do is her eyeball. I want to give this eye a little bit more color. So let's just increase the saturation to kind of match this eye. Let's see about brightening it a little bit. That's better. It's just not as clear. It looks milky, right? Definitely looks milky. So let's try doing effects, clarity, texture, detail, sharpness, noise. Let's bring it back down in color. It's a little better. I don't know. Might look more like a robot eye now, more digital. Take out this piece. We'll leave it alone. Sometimes if you can't fine tune it exactly how you want it, it's good to go work on something else and then come back and you might see it differently, or you might have a different idea of how to correct it. Or you might feel like, I did too much. It looked better as it was. It's okay to change your mind. As of now, there's nothing else I actually want to do to move on to. I feel like I like all of the colors. Once I get his face in focus, I think this will be a whole lot better if Topaz is good for animal faces. It might not be, and so this might not work out. I'm going to edit these little white marks out. I don't mind these ones because these look old. These ones just look like they shouldn't be there. I just think it takes away. Now, these are just small spots, so we don't need the generative because that can sometimes take time. See how that works? Beautiful. And I just feel like we still get the old school vibe of the vehicle, but we just don't have those two dots that were very, very white. They didn't have this rust color around it. So I like that. Now he is haloed. You can remove this. I forget what it's called. Fringe, I think. You can remove it in the Lightroom Classic. And it would probably defringe this, this, this. Now, I have done it in the past just because I hate editing on my computer. I will actually, which this takes so much more time and it doesn't do it as good of a job. But when I am just posting on social media for my own personal self, I'm like, what do I care? Because I would rather do it this way than do it in the classic. But literally, I already most of it, well, yeah, see, that's the thing. If these are just going for my personal Instagram and these aren't going to a client, I have no reason to export them at high quality, which means I have no reason to put them on my MacBook. So for something like this, it would be an extra step to have to do that, and I'd rather do what I just did. But now that I have his ear and the thing, I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on color and bring down the saturation. And look at that. Look at that. Doesn't that just look good? You can come back in here, kind of clean it up now that you can see it. And it actually almost more so matches his ears anyways, being this color rather than that bright blue. Look at that. Again, why I love editing on the iPad. I'm coloring right now. Who doesn't like to color? While I'm at it, I see some other blue spots that were hanging around. Get rid of those. And then this one is the one where I'm going to be a little bit more careful. Yeah. I mean, it could be a shadow. At least it's just not, a bright blue in your face saying, hey, look at me. Done. Yes. All right. Let's see. I mean, it's nothing huge. It's very subtle. But instead of it being, fake, little, little faded. I like that. This turned really, oh, okay, it was yellow, so that's fine. And this to me looks like sunshine coming through because it's yellow, not blue. So this is fine to me. This is the color of the car reflecting off the black steering wheel, so I would leave that alone. This is kind of the windshield. Yeah, so that's the windshield. You can see the edge of it. All right, next, I'll meet you in Topaz. Let's try to do his face. So now that we are done editing on the iPad, we want to bring it over and enter it into Topaz. So I'm just going to click here, choose share, and I'm going to airdrop it. That's my phone. There's my MacBook. Choose that, come over here. I'm going to go up and accept to downloads. Now it is in my downloads. Then I will open up Topaz Photo AI. And once in, you need to choose Browse Images, or you can drag and drop. Here's my photo, and I want to click Open. Okay. So you can see it analyzing over here. This is going to be the original. This will be the one with the changes. And this is what it's saying that are some suggestions. So they don't have focus, so I'm going to choose the plus sign by enhancements. And I want to recover faces. And you see this box, so I'm going to click him. It found him. And now it has brought him in, so I'm going to zoom in. I really want to see what it's done to his face. And it did what I thought it was going to do. See how it makes it smoother? I don't like that. So we're going to come here and remove that and sharpen the subject. I mean, maybe a little bit around the eye. Yeah. That definitely does look different. Can you guys tell the difference? He definitely looks sharper. But I wonder, for Piper, it's okay too. It didn't over sharpen her. I was worried about that. So yeah, from this to this, I think Voodoo looks better. He's not as clean as Piper, but he's much better. Let me know in the comments if you think it helped. All right. Now to export, in the right-hand corner, choose Export Image. Change your prefix name. Pups. Save. Close window. And here it is on my desktop. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so I'm pretty much done. Let's take a look at everything we did. This is the original out of the camera. This is after all of the edits done within Lightroom CC. And then if we go to photos, this is what we did in Lightroom CC. And this is after Topaz. So again, we're really looking at Voodoo. You can see here, there's definitely more texture in and around his eye, his fur up top, and even this eye here. His snout is still not in focus, but this got a little better. See how it's a little bit more smooth? That's the biggest difference that Topaz did. You can see more of the hairs. So I think it did a great job. So that is the final product. And I will put a before and after main photo so you don't have the screen glare. So you can see the difference. But at the end of the day, again, as long as you like it, that's what matters. This is your art. You want to enjoy it. Have a good one.